So this deck was really solid. Solid rocks. You get it, Marco. You get it. Solid rocks, brother. What's up, guys? So your boy Distant Coder here. If y'all don't know me, Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DistantCoder. Go ahead and give me a follow.
Join Discord.
Join the Discord. Join the Discord. I'm gonna be showing you guys my first place Montreal Regional 158-man tournament. I got first place playing Gem Knight FTK. It's pretty spicy. I had a couple of spice in the side. I sacked everyone all day. It was loads of fun. So let's go right into it, right? So first of all, you're gonna the vanillas. You play 3 lapis and your 3 obsidian. Tourmaline, sorry. This, like, you need to play them. You can play garnets if you want, but like it really doesn't matter. Tourmaline is probably the better one because the fusion that you make out of the extra deck with your Tourmaline is a lot better than the one you would make with garnet. And your lapis is the one that allows you to go into lapis lazuli to make the burn damage. So that's 6 vanillas in the main. You don't play any in the side, you just need those vanillas. You play the 3 lazuli and the 3 obsidian. These are your... they all have effects when sent, like lazuli adds back a vanilla when sent to grave by card effect, and obsidian special summons 1 when sent from hand to grave. These are like, you abuse this card so much, you do her effect like 4 times in a turn, none of these are once per turn, and your obsidian allows you to revive your stuff back so that you can fill your board with monsters so that you can burn for the extra 500 all the time. It's really solid. The only 2 ofs in my deck, you play 2 Gem Armadillo and the 2 Crystal Rose. You only play these. You play these at 2 because they're your block dragon searches. You really don't you don't need to play 3 of them. You don't really want to draw them. You want to search them off your block dragon. You play a lot of these. You play 3 of all of these because you don't want to be banishing them off desires. If you banish all 4 of these, you literally cannot resolve block dragon at all. So you want to have these in your deck, but you don't really want to draw them. It's the only card that you play at 2 in the deck. It's really consistent. Some people play 1 armadillo. I usually side the second one out, but 2 in the main I have no problem with. It was really, really solid. I have no complaints. Rescue Rabbit is just absurd in this deck. To make the combo, all you really need to make is put 2 Gem Knights on the field, and having the Rescue Rabbit just does that by itself. If you open the block dragon or a way to get to it, Rescue Rabbit is just like so free, so no problem here. You just have to, like, it's too good. And then literally the best card in the deck, Block Dragon. It's a dragon ruler with more effects. Like, you can summon it out of the grave by banishing 3 earths. You can summon it out from your hand or your grave by banishing 3 earths. When it's sent from field to grave, it adds 3 rocks, up to 3 rocks. That total levels equal 8. So you usually want to be adding your 1 rose, your obsidian, and your lapis. This is like for the full combo. If you draw the rose, you can like add your armadillo with a level 1 and a level 3 to make like 8. So it's really, this is what enables the combo, and it combines so well with the link monster. Like, the link monster is just absurd. With this, you banish 3 to summon, and then with the link monster you just shuffle those 3 that you banish back to fusion summon. So it's like absurd. Then rest in peace, the one of Brilliant Fusion, boys. Everyone thought, okay, so when Brilliant Fusion went to 1, we all know Brilliant Fusion went to 1 because of the Thunder Dragons, but everyone was like, yo, this indirect hit to Gem Knight FTK, like, it's gonna make Gem Knight FTK bad. I disagree. I had 1 and I still won the fucking regional. Like, it was not even hard. Sack it every game, bro. The only reason, like, it is kind of a consistency hit because this is the only 2-card FTK in the entire deck, but honestly, it doesn't matter that much because there's like so many other cards that make you go into, like, you're curious to send your block dragon, so you don't need this to send the block dragon. Like, I didn't draw it every game. Every game that I drew it, I won. But even when I didn't draw it, I still found the way to win. Like, the deck is still very consistent. It loses a little bit of consistency with the hit to 1, but it doesn't really bother that much. Triple of the Gem Knight Fusion. So like I said, I play literally everything in this deck at 3 or at 1 if it's at 1 on the ban list. Except for the Armadillo and the Rose. Gem Knight Fusion it's polymerization, but it's literally Phoenix Blade with a real effect. Like, you can, it's poly, but you can add it back by banishing a Gem Knight, so you can like loop this. You can activate it like 12 times in a turn. It's really broken. So like Gem Knight Fusion, best card. You search it off the link. To summon your Gem Knights from the deck, Unexpected Die summons out a vanilla. Like, you play your 6 vanillas, you really need to hit the Unexpected Die just to summon them out. Literally, like, Unexpected Die enables so many 3-card FTKs. And the thing with the FTKs, like I said, the only 2-card FTKs in the deck are the Brilliant Fusion with any Gem Knight is FTK. But with the Unexpected Die, it's a lot of 3-card FTKs, but it's not like specific cards you need. It's like Unexpected Die plus any vanilla plus like Obsidian or Fusion makes your FTK. Like it's so broad that it really doesn't matter. You just have to draw like a good consistency cards that get your guys out. Unless you draw like 5 normal summons, you're winning the game. Triple Pot of Desires. This is probably the card I like the least in the deck. It's never happened, that event. I got really lucky this event. I didn't banish like all the combo pieces that I needed to FTK with Desires, so it ended up being pretty decent. It drew me into the stuff that I need a lot of times. It drew me into my side cards a lot, so I got really lucky with it. Not sure if I would keep it or if I'd cut it, but honestly, it's a really solid card. There's really no need. Like you gotta play it. Like you're running out of room. It's this or it's like Dragged Down by the Grave, and I'm really not a fan of that card. So yeah. Triple Pot of Desires, like you gotta play it. If you don't, like you're a pussy, I guess. So it'd be like that. Apparently you can play 3 of this card for some reason. Konami enjoys letting us play for free. So if you draw these, like the hand traps are all dead, and that's literally all your opponent has to stop you. So Triple Call by the Grave is mandatory. It's too good. Now for the 5 power 1-ofs, you play your Reasoning. Reasoning is a new addition to the deck since the hit on Brilliant Fusion. It's really solid because no matter what they call, you have like targets of all sorts of different levels, so it's really solid. And if sometimes they call 8 for Block Dragon, but Block Dragon can't be normal summoned or set, so you just keep going. So you load your grave with your Block Dragon, so it's there for free. It's kind of like a Foolish. If you didn't open it and you mill it off the Reasoning, you're just so lucky, and it's so free because then you keep going and you have a potential to special summon one. If you hit Rescue Rabbit, it feels really bad. I hit Rescue Rabbit round 1, but I still won that game, so it really didn't matter. Otherwise, if you hit Gem Knight Fusion, it's live in the grave to add back, so it pluses so much. Even if they hit like the right level, sometimes it can just be so plus. If it sends Lazuli to the grave, it adds back a vanilla, so it's like really solid. It's a really good card. Then the Saki 1-of Midbreaker Field. It's at 1 now. I figured there's no reason not to main it. I opened it last round game 3 against for the win, like for the absolute win. I opened this against my last round opponent, and he opened Valor Impermanence and no other hand traps. So like this gave me the tournament essentially. Like I sacked it. Like I said, I sacked all day. It was crazy. Monster Reborn is literally the replacement for Soul Charge, but very often you were never Soul Charging for more than 1 anyway. Like just Monster Reborn, like the only time you're really going to be using your Monster Reborn or your Soul Charge is if you kind of brick and you have to like make a vanilla, link off for Link Spider, and then special a vanilla from hand, and Monster Reborn, the vanilla you just linked off. So you were literally only Soul Charging for 1 most of the time anyway, so that's why Monster Reborn is just as good as Soul Charge. It doesn't really matter, the Soul Charge ban. Then you have your Card Destruction. I'm not really a fan of this card, but sometimes it can fix hands. Sometimes it allows you to just like sack a bunch of Earths to summon your Block Dragon. If you have your Block Dragon in hand, it's just as live in the hand as in the graveyard, so like Card Destruction is just a really solid card. Then the last card in the deck, 40 cards, Foolish Burial. It's just an extra copy of Block Dragon. Send it to the grave. If you open the Block Dragon, you can send a vanilla, special summon it off Obsidian, add it back with Lapis. Like it's just solid. So 40 in the main, like 20 something monsters, fewer spells, but it was a really solid main deck. Every game that I went first, I FTK'd. I opened the FTK every single game that I went first. Going second, I FTK'd a lot of times too. I OTK'd. It's not an FTK if you go second, but essentially the same thing. Then for the extra deck, you play 2 of the most broken Link monster to come from the Link Reigns pack. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. Like nothing you can say will convince me otherwise. Phantom Quartz adds a Gem Knight card as soon as it's summoned, so it adds your Gem Knight Fusion, and you can shuffle materials from your grave or your banished to fusion summon once per turn. So your 3 monsters that you're banishing off your Block Dragon, you're shuffling them back to fusion summon your Lady Brilliant Diamond that I'll be showing you in just a bit. So this card is like absurd. It's like an inherent +2, so it's like so broken. You play the 1 Link Spider. In this deck, you actually use its effect. It's not like Scapegoat where you just go, I summon Link Spider and then link for other stuff. No, your Link Spider, you're making it to make your Curious combo, and it summons you a vanilla out your hand, so it doesn't matter if you draw multiple vanillas, they're all still live, so it's really good. Then you have your Proxy Dragon. Proxy Dragon is really solid because it's a very good generic Link 2 light, so you can use it to make Seraph Knight, and you link away like your Phantom Quartz with your Block Dragon to then get the Block Dragon search, and then you can make your Seraph Knight, get an additional normal summon. It's really solid. Nightmare Phoenix, I played over the Summon Sorceress. I felt like Nightmare Phoenix was better specifically because I expected to see a couple of Floodgates here in Montreal. People play Floodgates a lot. And the arrows actually came up sometimes. Like I had to make like a Missus Radiant that pointed down and shit like that. And I had to like Nightmare Phoenix, yeah, like I had to load my grave with stuff. I made a couple of jank plays because I was literally awake for 36 hours during the event. Like I hadn't slept the night before, so I was like making up combos on the fly. It was really janky all day, but I won, so like who gives a fuck, right? Like, I did everything right apparently. Then you got your Nightmare Unicorn. You need this for the FTK because Master Diamond's at 1 now, so you have to end up making... You make your Lapis Lazuli that can be only summoned once per turn, then you make your Master Diamond, shuffle Master Diamond back with this, then summon it back, and that's how you enable your FTK. So Unicorn's a really solid card, like you need it for the FTK. Curious, I mean... What can I say? You make it, you send Block Dragon, you mill 3 Earths, like it's just pluses upon pluses, and it's super easy to make in this deck. You got your Link Spider, which is a Cyberse, one of your Rock guys, and then you summon your Tourmaline and use a Thunder, so you should make this so easily, they're all Earths. And then the Missus Radiant, it doesn't really come up, but Missus Radiant is specifically an out to Reaper. If you get Reaper on your Unicorn, you have to make your Missus Radiant with like another card I'll show you in a minute to like not lose to the Reaper. So Missus Radiant, you just have to play it, it's really good. Now for your fusions, you play the Zirconia, Vanilla. It's a vanilla extra deck monster. You make him off a Gem Knight and a Rock, so you make him off the Block Dragon. So it loads your Block Dragon in the grave. It's literally never a minus to put Block Dragon in the grave. And this is what you summon off Brilliant Fusion because you want to send your Block Dragon from the deck. Your Seraphnet, everyone knows what this does, but you make him properly in this deck. You don't just Brilliant Fusion, Fairy Tail Snow with Garnet. You actually make this guy properly. So Seraphnet enables the combo, it's really good. Lady Brilliant Diamond, this one is probably the most broken one, honestly, except for like the burn ones, because she can tag out any Gem Knight for another Gem Knight from the extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions, and she's the one that you make when you use the Link Monsters effect to fusion summon, so you banish 3 Gem Knights off Block Dragon to summon, and then you shuffle them back into the deck to make her, so it's like so free. Then the burn card, you have to play 2 of the Lady Lapis Lazuli. The reason why you play 2, even though she can only be summoned once, is that her burn effect you burn by sending a Gem Knight from your extra deck or your main deck to the grave. So you use her to send the other copy of herself to the graveyard so that the Master Diamond is loaded with 2 Lapis Lazuli to burn for your opponent afterwards. So you use her with 6 monsters on board to burn for 3k. Then after that, you tag her out into your Master Diamond. Your Master Diamond's going to copy the first one's effect to burn for another 3k. Then you have to make the Unicorn, shuffle this guy back, summon him again, banish the second one, and then you burn for another 2k afterwards, so that's 8k total. So, like, Master Diamond's at 1, it doesn't matter, you can still FTK, so it really does, it's broken. And then the Prismora, this is the one that I'm saying goes with the Missus Radiant. Sometimes you have to make Prismora to go into your Curious Play, but this is really here with the Missus Radiance that if you get your Unicorn Reapered, you have to make your Master Diamond, and then instead of unicorning the Master Diamond back into the extra deck, you have to link for Missus Radiant, Fusion Summon for Prismora, use Prismora's effect to pop Missus Radiant, to then have her add back the Master Diamond to your extra deck. It's kind of janky, you only need 1 more extender card to be able to do it like consistently. So if you get Reapered, this is the only other play you have to FTK, otherwise you're not going to be able to do the FTK. This deck doesn't exactly lose to every hand trap, and most of the time players don't really know what to hand trap. And you play the Call by the Graves anyway, so like it's pretty consistent. Like I said, and it was a format, like this regional was really a format where not many people were playing that many hand traps. So it was like, it was so free. Every game that I went first, I FTK'd, and no one was playing anything that literally made an insane board that I couldn't OTK through. So this deck was really solid. Solid rocks. You get it, Marco. You get it. Solid rocks, brother. Okay.
How about no?
Then for the side, I have the spice in here, but I'm gonna go with the cards that I felt like I absolutely needed to play. So the triple Droll and Lockbird, because I lose to decks that make really insane boards, most notably Dangers. So I had to have the Drolls in to make the Dangers go minus. So it really, this was mandatory, I had to play these. I lose kind of hard to Colossus, depending. So you have the Book of Eclipse just to make sure that you have the answer to the Thunder Dragons. Luckily enough, I didn't play against them, which is probably my worst matchup, but with the Eclipses, like you just drop this and then you still FTK, you just burn, and the face down monster is still considered special summon. So Lady Lapis Lazuli has the extra burn damage, so it's like so good. Then you have the other card that I felt like was absolutely necessary to play was the red reboots. Back row decks are just annoying. I played against Draco. I played against the new Salamangreats. This is pretty good against Salamangrate because as long as you stop their disruptions, like you don't even need a battle phase or anything. Like their Failings protection in the grave doesn't matter. You're just burning them through whatever board they have. So the red reboot just stops their back row from disrupting you, and then you have your Call by the Graves and whatever for the hand traps. And most players didn't even know what to hand trap in this deck. So I had 6 slots remaining for what cards I felt were really good to put in the side for just hitting a majority of decks. So Evenly Matched I felt was really solid because it literally hits, like I can't think really of a deck that this doesn't hurt at all. So I just felt like outing boards with Evenly Matched was like really important. And the most important, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna go for the big spice, all right? Guys, prepare yourselves. I cited 3 Watt Kinetic Puppeteer.
Ooh.
Watt Kinetic Puppeteer. Okay, so Watt Kinetic Puppeteer. No, this is not a joke. This is not a meme. This is not a copy pasta. I legitimately cited triple Watt Kinetic Puppeteer. I honestly think for this deck, this is one of the best hand traps that you can side, specifically because I needed something more against certain specific decks. So against like decks that make you a big board, like the Guard Dragons, like I had a buddy of mine that played Guard Dragon Blue Eyes and shit like that, and the boards that it made were really hard to OTK through, so I needed something that could stop the Guard Dragons, and just this, when they go LP effect, you discard this, you target their Pitsy, and you move it next to the LP so they can't resolve their effects, and their turn effectively ends there for anything that's Guard Dragon. And also against Sky Striker, I felt like I only had the Evenly Matched that really did anything against Sky Striker. So in the end phase, I played against a Sky Striker player, game 2. In the end phase, he sets like triple Widow Anchor and has his Shizuku on the field. And as you go end phase, discard this, target the Shizuku, and move it to the main monster zone. So I turned off all his back row, and I just OTK'd him through it with burn. Like I didn't even like attack through anything. I just burned him because all his back row was turned off. So this is like really solid. Like it hits a bunch of decks. Like it was so good. And because this deck really doesn't care what your opponent has like on the field in general, it just cares that your opponent doesn't make a board with a bunch of negates. This can stop a bunch of shit like the Sky Strikers, the Guard Dragons. It can stop so many things. Honestly, this is probably my best like call for a side deck card was really the Watt Kinetic Puppeteers. I think this was like the MVP in my side deck. It's the card that I can't have imagined winning this event without it. It really did help me win the event. So pick up your Puppeteers, guys. It's just absurd.
Fun fact: it's searchable by Watt Cobra.
Searchable by Watt Cobra. I don't play that. No one plays that. But this is really fucking solid. So yeah, that was 60 fucking 40 cards. 15 on the side, 15 in the extra deck. So yeah, literally that's it. First place Montreal Regionals. Matchups, I played against a couple of Danger Orchists. One of them even made me go first knowing I was playing FTK because he was playing going second build. I beat Draco, I 2-0'd Sky Striker, I beat both Salamangreats I played against. I played against the Guard Dragon that I beat with this as well. I tied against Prank Kids, so I went 7-0-1 undefeated. I got 1 draw and first place at Montreal Regionals, and that's that. So have a really good one, guys. I hope you enjoy playing this deck. It's still really consistent, even with the Brilliant Fusion hit. It's really not a problem. It's fucking solid. So yeah, so follow me on Twitch if you want to see any more of this. I play a lot of join Discord. So follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/disencoder. I play a lot of rogue decks. I also do judge streams. If you guys like to see judges and whatever, I'm a judge on Dueling Book. So that's it for the deck list, and have a good one, guys. Thank you so much.